Let's talk about Disney, because there's actually a lot going on with them, including rumors that everything is for sale, even the company. And I really don't think that you can just ignore this as something that's not true. But let's start here, because one of my favorite things about Disney, especially when they don't do so well and fail at something, is how a lot of mainstream sites like CBR.com here, a very, very prestigious website. I'm absolutely kidding. Most of their articles, I think, are written by AI now. They're not doing very good, but they still make sure to come in and defend Disney when they can. So they put this bullshit article out, which is funny because on Twitter, it says Indiana Jones 5 breaks even at the international box office. And the first thing I said to myself when I read that is, what? The international box office? Well, it's not just, there's not two box office. No, there's the global is what we need to go by. But the reason that CBR is saying that this movie's broken even is because it's apparently now made $300 million. The budget was $290 million, not including marketing. And it just reinforces the fact that how stupid the people that write these articles are, because you don't get 100% of that. A lot of that money goes to the goes to the movie theaters that play it. I think at least half goes to the movie theater. They don't get all of that. Really, it's made $150 million. But these people are dumb. These are the defenders of Disney. Jeremy Dick, writer of this article, that is the real name, fails to understand that, writes this puff piece about why the movie is now profitable. It's like, what a spin. What a spin. And Disney's also spinning Ms. Marvel, because nobody watched this. Same writer, by the way. Nobody watched this show on Disney Plus. It's one of the least viewed shows for Marvel on Disney Plus. And you have to think that Disney is really worried about the Marvels because of the fact that they've had so many failures. Ant-Man bombed. Guardians of the Galaxy barely broke even. And that's a highly prestigious movie, because you're coming off of two successful liked sequels, and that's probably, that movie's a little bit more immune than some of the other stuff, because everyone knows it's good, had good word of mouth. Secret Invasion, no one's watching that show either. So Disney's looking at this and saying, well, we have not been doing very well. No one's going to watch this movie. So now they're going to take Ms. Marvel and they're going to put it on ABC for free. So now I think 10 p.m. Sundays is the time that it's going to air. Do they have that in this article? You think that they would want to let people know when you can watch it. Yeah, here it is. It says Disney Plus will be aired on broadcast television. The first 3 episodes will air on Saturday, August 5th, 8 to 11 p.m. The second half of the season will follow the next week on Saturday, 8 to 11 p.m. Kind of late, to be honest. 11 p.m. Okay. Okay. What's great about this, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to get ratings now. And I can't wait to see the ratings numbers for this show. So this is the move to try to sell this and to get the Marvels pumping up, which is hilarious. The Marvels will not be saved. This is going to be a humongous disaster, and I can't wait for it. But this is just a drop in the bucket. Disney also had this problem, the Snow White thing, which they tried to say was fake, turned out to be true. I've done a couple videos on this. Very hilarious. The reason that I'm bringing all of this up is because it just shows you a lot of the problems that Disney has had. And it all leads to this one. This is from Disneyland News Today. Breaking, CEO Bob Iger, considering selling streaming services and other assets, may even try to sell entire Disney company. So the reason that people are really kicking around this idea that everything is for sale is because ABC is being considered for dumping to get some profits. They've had ABC for a long time. A long time. Used to be a huge channel. I guess it's not doing that well now. Let's take a look at what they're saying. Bloomberg reported on the potential sales referencing Iger's now infamous Squawk Box interview. The interview, conducted by David Faber, was held at a media conference in Sun Valley, Idaho, and Iger's comments about the writer and actor strikes have gone viral. But during the interview, he also agreed that ABC and its local stations may not be the core to Walt Disney Company. Faber speculated about the possible sale, and Iger said, "We have to be open-minded and objective about the future of those businesses." Bloomberg says, with cable TV on the decline, Iger wants to sell most of Disney TV's assets, mainly ABC, Freeform, and FX. Disney's streaming service has been losing money and subscribers. Disney Plus lost 4 million subscribers last quarter. Streaming is expected to have hit a total loss of 800 million in the third quarter. That's a lot of money. Streaming, you can't just jump into it. Disney thought they could just jump right into streaming and take it over, and it doesn't quite work like that. There's a lot of streaming services right now, and not all of them are going to last. You're seeing some of them close down. I was reading something about Paramount Plus recently. You know that's not doing that great. All these studios want to start a streaming service, and it defeats the purpose of what streaming was. The reason that streaming took off in the first place is because cable TV is expensive. And a lot of people wanted to cut the cord and just pay $10 to Netflix because Netflix had everything. And with all these studios jumping in, the amount of money it costs now to get all of them is, I think, probably more than it costs to get a basic cable package, which defeats the purpose. So according to Bloomberg, Iger wants to sell or restructure Disney's TV and streaming business in India. This is actually where Disney Plus has had the biggest losses. Disney Plus Hotstar, the region's version of Disney Plus, lost streaming rights to Indian Premier League, leading to the that's a cricket thing, by the way, in case you don't know. Leading to the service losing 3.8 million subscribers in quarter one and 4.6 million subscribers in quarter two. And that's big churn. A lot of those people sign up for a show, then they bounce. Iger does plan to hold on to Hulu and Disney and will launch a combined app for Hulu and Disney Plus later this year. The streaming services will still have their own separate apps, at least for now. Disney will more than likely have to buy Comcast's 33% stake in Hulu in 2024. That's going to cost them a lot of money. I hear Comcast is giving them a hard time with that, and they're not going to let it go cheap. And why should they? Why should they let it go cheap? Why should they cut them a deal? They're not going to cut them a deal. They are going to make them pay the most amount possible for that 33%. Wells Fargo analyst Steve Cahell says Disney selling their TV networks could get them about $8 billion, which could help offset the cost of the last third. Potential buyers will be financial entities like private equity firms. Iger wants to hang on to ESPN, but is looking for a partner for the sports network. Naturally, you want to keep ESPN because sports is never going to really lose that much popularity. Sports is a big business. The problem is a lot of them are becoming woke, and they are turning off some people, but not all of them will leave. They still, football, NFL, has become pretty dangerously woke, and they've lost a lot of people, but not enough to even really dent that business. That's why they're still going strong. And they do a lot of cringy shit. So the real stuff, the real speculation, though, is selling the business. And that is due to Apple. A lot of rumors kicked around that Apple is very interested in buying Disney. I don't know if that'll actually happen. Who knows if that would even be allowed to happen, to be honest, because they already gave Disney shit when they tried to combine with Fox. So if Apple tried to do that, I don't know. But as of right now, everything is for sale. There's nothing that doesn't have a price for Disney because they don't have a lot of cash on hand. That's another thing that's been going around is Disney doesn't have as much cash on hand as they used to. They've lost a shitload of money at the box office. The parks, the attendance is down big time there. It's just, it's all around bad for this company. So I don't know what they do. The first thing they could do is stop making trash. Stop making woke trash. But that's not going to happen because Bob Iger wants to get political someday. So Disney as a company has to stay leftist because he wants to be a political something. President was what was getting kicked around a lot, but I don't know if that is really going to work out for him. I do think he tries to run eventually. So he has to keep his leftist positions. The whole company has to at least stay center left. I think that's the most you see Disney dial back is they maybe one day become center left again, but you'll never see them be center. As long as Bob Iger is there and still pulling strings like he's been since he even left, I don't see that changing. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.